When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install in-grain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I think, it's so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button.
Shalom, call Allah Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Barakatham. To the sincere believers, the hopeful elect out there, listening, learning, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord, Yahweh Shai. So as you see in this opening clip right here, this is where we at, and this system is being rolled out before you. You see Elon Musk, he's going into the IRS, getting taxpayer information and data, and phasing out physical money such as the penny. They're making people lose jobs, which now Elon, he's talking about giving every American $5,000 to $8,000 on the back end for what they're saying is the overspending of all these tax programs or government programs under the Biden administration. So that's nothing more than, number one, to gain the people's trust, and also to get people enthusiastic about receiving money from the government. All right? Because you have to look at the bigger picture. People losing their jobs, everything's expensive, nobody can save any money. Everybody's pretty much in a tight position unless you're the 1% in this society. So now Elon, he's coming in and saying, yeah, well, we're going to help these people out, which the prophets have told you that this is coming, man. And now these things are being rolled out in real time, But with the stimulus they talking about, this is a measure to help out the American people, to get people more cushy with the government, get used to receiving regular payments from the government, which is going to be that UBI. All right. And eventually, they'll probably, give the people a few stimulus, but at a certain point, they're going to say, yeah, well, you're going to have to get a digital ID. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get a real ID, and eventually you're going to have to get chipped up. So as you saw in this clip right here, people already have this technology, and Sweden, they were, I believe, the first nation to actually adopt this chip infrastructure. You see, but you have these banks, these credit card companies, MasterCard, Visa, they're phasing out the magnetic strip. They're phasing out the chip that's in the payment card, that's in the bank card, and they're moving towards biometrics. Okay, which when you go into biometrics, that means the measure of the body or the measure of life. All right, so that goes into palm scan, scanning your eyeball, getting vein scans and things like that. Right, they got the world coin out with people scanning the eyeballs to be put into a database. All right, so this system is here, man. All right, this MOTB is not that far away, and believe you me, Trump and Elon, right? Like, why you think he's in there? Why you think they set this guy up? It's not his technology. This is the technology of the elites, which they have been developed for decades. You see, but now is the appointed time to implement these things, because this is the GR, the Great Reset. But as you've seen, this is going to be used for every facet of life. People use it to open their car doors. People use it to get into their house. People use it to get into the office, buy snacks. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going to revolve around biometrics. You see, because the elites want to use the biometrics because they'll know exactly who you are. All right? Because right now, having a bank account, that can be tied to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Using passwords online, setting up anonymous accounts where you can pretty much put whatever name. They're doing away with that. They're doing away with anonymity. Okay, using cash is anonymity. All right, because you can use cash to pay for something, and there's no way to trace it back to you because cash is not traceable. Understand? So they want to make this digital system, this digital grid in which everything can be tracked and traced. All right, this is what it is. And this is, whether you want to believe it or not, this is the mark of the beast as outlined in Revelation the 13th chapter 16 on down. Now we can go here. Fox News senior White House correspondent warns Doge wants to, quote, reboot the whole system. And that goes into what? The GR, the reset. All right, the likes of Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari, BG have been speaking of since the onset of 2020. Really before that, but they really kicked it into gear in 2020. So right here, it says, Fox News senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy discussed the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, recent legal victory, which grants the agency access to federal data and enables continued implementation of spending cuts. Under Elon Musk's leadership, Doocy emphasized that Doge aims to reboot the whole system by overhauling government operations and reducing wasteful expenditures. All right, now, as Elon Musk told you during that press briefing in the White House the other day, he pretty much told the American citizen that you're going to get what you voted for. You voted for government reform. You voted for an end of corruption that the Democrats caused. Well, you're going to get what you voted for, and this is going to come in the form of a digital technocracy. You see, this has been the plan all along. All right, and these individuals, these characters they put in front of you, they've played in these people's faces for years. All right, they are the ones that set up the confusion. They are the ones that have implemented the chaos. Now, this is the order that's being brought before you. The development comes amid a broader initiative by Doge to identify and eliminate inefficiencies within federal agencies. And that comes with what? Laying a lot of people off, closing down a lot of government sectors. Okay? This is an overhaul of the government, in which they're going to set up a new government that's going to be based in surveillance, that's going to be based in being tracked and traced, that's going to be based in pretty much taking all your rights away and being a slave, a perpetual slave to this system. Okay, not having a job, not having an ability to, make a life for yourself, but instead depending on the beast system to provide for you. And that's going to come in the form of universal basic income. Notably, the department uncovered over 4 million active government credit cards responsible for approximately 90 million transactions totaling 40 billion in fiscal year 2024. Now, check that out, right? It says the department uncovered over 4 million active government credit cards. Now, Dolgate, right? The Department of Government Efficiency. Elon's talking about making the government more efficient. So the fact that you have 4 million active government credit cards that were being used for all kinds of wickedness, all kinds of, just foolishness, man. All right, totaling over 40 million and 40 billion in 2024. What do you think this is going to be a call for? We need to do away with these credit cards because people are having these credit cards and they're just doing all kind of stuff, wasting all kind of money with these things. See, we need to have a more secure system. All right, we need to know who's doing what. We need to be able to track and trace these things so we can run a more efficient government, so that we can surveil people better, so that we can stop this overexpenditure or overreach of spending power when we feel like it. See, everything is coming together. The Department of Defense accounted for a significant portion of this activity with about 2.4 million individual accounts and 27.2 million transactions. Dolgate has announced plans to streamline the government's credit card system and reduce administrative costs, with further updates expected within a week. And this is ultimately going to come in the form of the chip. All right, they're going to do away with these credit cards. All right, because when you go here, all right, MasterCard plans to get rid of credit card numbers. We could be heading towards the end of cards, and this news is coming out today. All right, February 19th. So say goodbye to credit cards very soon, and notice what they've done since 2020. Since 2020, they've been implementing these contactless payment systems because of the CV. All right, they said, yeah, well, we're not going to really deal with physical money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to deal with Apple Pay and, Android Pay, contactless payments, using the card more. All right, because before the pandemic, using cash was a normal thing. Like, people didn't look at you crazy if you use cash. Now, like, you pull out $100 bill, people looking at you like, nigga, you still using cash? So even 6 years ago, the world has pretty much completely done a whole 180, man. All right, now we're pretty much already in a digital society because majority of people don't use cash no more, don't carry cash. You see? So they've been conditioning the people for years to accept this new system, which is about to be rolled out. All right, and the prophets, the men of the Lord, starting with the elders and apostles, have been warning that these days are coming, and we're here. Okay, because I remember just coming out of high school, like the chips were like just coming out, which apparently the chips have been out in Europe since like the 80s or the 90s. So this technology has been around for a long time. But I remember first seeing it, just getting my bank account, coming out of high school and stuff like that. I remember like the chips being implemented. I was like, because like I remember when you had like the regular bank card with just the stripe, then they put the chip in there. Now they're moving to the next phase where they're going to do away with the magnetic stripe. They're going to do away with the chip in the car, and they're going to put the chip inside you, as we saw in that first opening clip. So it says MasterCard has announced plans to remove the 16-digit number from their credit and debit cards by 2030 in a move designed to stamp out identity theft and fraudulent use of cards. That's the same thing. That's the same rhetoric that was being spoken about in that previous article, all right, where it said that Dolgate is going to, pretty much rehash or reform the government. Okay, same thing. They said the same thing as 4 million credit cards and 40 billion in debt being used and stuff like that. The same sentiment is being echoed here, right? Fraudulent use of cards. That's what they're trying to weed out. The numbers currently used to identify cards will be replaced with, pay attention, with tokenization and biometric authentication. There you go. You see that? Now, what is tokenization? Tokenization, let's see. Matter of fact, yeah, we can just, in a technology-centric world where interest in mobile payments is on the rise, consumers are seeking convenient and secure payment options for their mobile devices. Peace and safety. This is what they're going to implement these things in the name of. All right. This is especially crucial due to the contemporary spending culture whereby many consumers store their account information in locations such as online retailers, airlines, transportation networks, and wireless carriers, among other things. The abundance of this sensitive information online exposes a significant proportion of the population to security and fraud threats. Tokenization like services like MasterCard's digital enablement services for merchants, or M4M, alleviate this risk in a way that provides greater convenience for you. So this is all in the name of convenience. All right. Now let's get that. Matter of fact, tokenization. Yeah, whatever. Thought it had a definition. We ain't got to get into it. Okay, but you know, it says tokenization solves this problem by transforming the sensitive payment details into a token unique to the wallet/merchant, meaning that your card can't be cloned or used fraudulently. Okay, so in the name of peace and safety, they're going to get you to take this chip. You see, in 2022, MasterCard added biometric options, enabling payments to be made with a smile or a wave of the hand. And I remember the first time I saw a palm reader in a store. This was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe. You know, when I was in Whole Foods, okay, which Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, Jeff Bezos. All right, so these technocrats, man, you know, they're buying up these supermarket chains, and they're implementing this technology in there. All right, but that was the first time I seen it about 2 years ago, where they had the palm reader in the store, and it said wave your palm to pay. Okay, now I think right now you have to put, like you have to scan your palm into the database. If you have an Amazon account, you got to scan it into the database. So for right now, it's pretty much just your actual palm print that they're scanning. But very soon, in order to use and buy and sell, you're going to have that implantable chip in your hand, man. See, this is what John the Revelator was seeing on the island of Patmos. He was seeing the future, okay? He wasn't just seeing some, which the vision that he was having, like he was seeing dragons, and, he was seeing, the particular things of what you read about in there, but they were symbolic, okay? But he didn't understand at that time what those things meant. The interpretation was meant to be given now in these latter days, okay? This is why you've been having the prophets, all right, telling you what these things are and that these things are coming, whether you believe it or not. And we see that as time goes on, the closer that we get to the end, these prophecies are starting to speak louder and clear. You can't deny these things no more, man. It is what it is, okay? But you're going to be able to pay, right, with the smile or the wave of the hand. Tokenization converts the 16-digit card number into a different number or token stored on your device. So card information is never shared when you tap your card or phone or make payments online. The first rollout of these numberless cards will be through a partnership with AMP Bank, but it is expected other banks will follow in the coming months. And of course, because this is the whole system that they're moving into, okay? So they go into card security and things like that. But look, man, the Great Millstone, okay, had it right all along, all right? And the brothers that teach the same likewise doctrine, man. But really at this point, it's like, how can't you see it? How can you not see that, the direction that these elites are moving in, phasing out cash, okay, making you lose your job, putting you in a position of difficulty. All these things are to get you to comply and willingly accept this new digital technocracy that they're implementing right before you. This is what it's all about, that Hegelian dialectic, pressure from above and pressure from beneath. All right, they're just bombarding you with so many psyops. You know what I'm saying? Like you just had another plane collision today. You got water plants that's being contaminated. You know what I'm saying? You got chemical plants blowing up. You got trains derailing. It's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? You got politicians in DC selling their homes. You got earthquakes all over. Like, there's a lot going on, man. And all these things speak to the judgment of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All these things speak to the movement to implement the mark. Okay? Which this shows you how close we are to the end, man. So, as we always say, you know, repent, seek the Lord while he may be found, because the evil days are upon us. You know what I'm saying? Really, the evil days are here. You see? So now, let's go to, matter of fact, we can get Habakkuk first. Then we can go to Revelation. Habakkuk, the second chapter. Because, you know, the vision, Habakkuk chapter 2, in verse 1, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me. And what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And the prophets are making the visions plain upon tables. The prophets are making these prophecies plain to be understood. Okay? Telling you outright that this is what it is. All right? Now, either you have the spirit to receive it, or the Lord has blinded you to where you can't see it, and you're going to buck up against it. All right, but either way, you know, the blood is off our hands. You have been warned. So when these things come about, you're not going to have an excuse to say, I didn't know what the MOTB was. No, you was well warned. All right. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. See, so we're at the end now, and these visions are speaking and not lying. All right, these things are being made plain now. It's obvious to see if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay, but hey, this vision is for an appointed time, and now is the appointed time, right? Though it tarry, so though it seemed like, you know, like you heard the man of the Lord prophesying, talking about the chip, yeah, it's coming, you know what I'm saying? Revelation 13, and for a while it seemed like the vision was tarrying, you know what I'm saying? People came and, you know, scoffed, and they spoke evil against it. Okay, and you got some guys out there still speaking evil against it, you see, but that's because the Lord has blinded them, has blocked their understanding. All right, and guess what? Those are going to be the same very ones that's going to take this chip when it's presented to them, because they don't have no faith. All right, and ultimately their comfort is in this world. All right, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You see, so you know the Lord is manifest in the end, man, and it's a beautiful thing, because it's really going to be like the biggest I told you so moment. You know, when these things come, you know what I'm saying? Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, so everyone on the earth, man, is going to be tempted to get this thing. Okay, whether you in jail, you know, whether you a so-called free person out in society, whether you rich or poor. Okay, you know, whether you a common citizen or you a so-called celebrity. All right, everybody gonna have to get this, man, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see? And when you go into, yeah, we can pull up the blue letter real quick, you know, because so we can go into that word there for mark. Revelation 13 and 16.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
So the word there for mark is charagma, okay, in the Greek. Now, when you go into it, right, the outline of biblical use is a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah or the anti-Hamashiach, okay, which there's not just one anti-Messiah. There's a spirit. There are many anti-Messiahs out here in these last days, all right? But this system, you know, this beast system is in itself anti-Messiah, because they're trying to overcome the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, all right? And he's trying to mark you. He's trying to stamp you as one of his followers, as, pledging your allegiance to this devil, to Esau, okay, which runs this beast system. All right, then carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. Okay, so this mark that's going to be put inside of you. All right, this is going to mark you as a follower of this anti-Messiah system. All right, and aligning your interests with the beast man, which is Esau. Okay, who exalteth and opposed himself above all that is called Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, so this is where we at, and more than likely, me personally, it's just me speaking as a man, but I truly see these devils, rolling this thing out this year, man. All right, if not this year, next year, because last year was pretty much the prep to roll this thing out. Biden messed up the economy, spent all this money. Now, Elon and Trump, they coming in to clean things up. And it's going to be a part of that cleanup, to get you on this, digital grid, man, where you pretty much will never be the same. All right. You're going to be this part of that fourth industrial revolution, merging man with machine. And once they do that, you can't go back, so just wanted to make that a quick update. The MOTB is coming, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash, called Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha'Allah, Wa Ba Shalom, on to the next one.